Welcome to another ABS online video. Let's go and find out what we're going to learn today. Ancient Week 29. Right, we are visiting our oldest place this week. It's even older than me. That's really old. It's also the one with the most violent history. Well, that's certainly not me. I'm very old, but I really don't have a violent history. Where could it be? Where are we going? Where is it? Many places in the world have a lot of history, but this city has to be one of the most historic. Where is that? We are going to Rome. Rome and the Roman Empire was really big. It covered what are now 20 different countries all over Europe, parts of Asia, parts of Africa. It was very important. Some amazing thinkers, some really violent armies, a lot of war. Now, because of that, there is a lot to see in Rome. There certainly is a lot to see, yes. Wow, now, that is one place that maybe everyone will look at it and say, oh, that's in Rome. However, the place that everyone knows is called the Colosseum. The Colosseum. And here it is. Rome was the centre of a very rich and powerful empire. And because of that, for hundreds of years, people were building incredible things. They were really well built, very strong. If you ever get the chance, go and visit Rome. So how can it be described? Good question. We have two more types of adjective. Hooray! And that will make 10 in all. Wow! 10 different types of adjective. That's many types, but don't forget, each type has got many different words in that group. That's a lot of adjectives. So what are the final two adjectives? Oh dear. They are both very unusual and not used very often. Okay. Well, is that good? Well, I guess we need to know them just so that we can say we've done all 10. And we will only see them a few times this week. So that's good. We will use our other adjectives, of course, because some of those were very common and very useful. So what are they? What are these two unusual types of adjective? The first is type. Oh, okay, that's strange. Type is a type of adjective. It is a U-shaped bend. Now, well, there we have a pipe that is often under a sink or a toilet. The type of pipe is a U-shaped bend. The final one is purpose. This one's a bit more common and a little bit easier. It is a cooking pot. Okay, so there, the purpose of the pot is cooking. It is used for cooking. Okay, type and purpose. Our final two types of adjective. That makes 10. My word, well done. So let's travel back in time. Oh, we need some science fiction type music there. This icon of ancient Rome is almost 2,000 years old. That is the oldest thing we have looked at. We looked at the Statue of Liberty. We looked at the Taj Mahal. We looked at Big Ben. All three of those are just a few hundred years old. But here, this Colosseum is 2,000 years old. The original name is the Flavian Amphitheatre. Oh, wow. Well, I thought Colosseum was a bit difficult, but that's certainly better than the Flavian Amphitheatre. Amphitheatre. What's that? An amphitheatre is an open-air sporting arena. Some good adjectives there. Like the big stadiums of today, they were also used for other types of entertainment. Today, some really big super football stadiums, well, you could have music concerts in them, or just different kinds of sport. And that's true for the Roman amphitheatre, the Colosseum. It's impressive. Wow. The impressive, vast, multi-purpose arena only took 8 years to complete. Wow! That is very impressive. If something is impressive, it makes you go, wow! Now let's not forget, 2,000 years ago, there were no machines to help builders. So doing this really big structure in just 8 years, that's amazing. Whoa, this is another wow. Look at that number. It could hold 50,000 excited, cheering people. 50,000. That's bigger than most of today's football stadiums. We do have some in the world that hold more than 50,000, but that's a really big number. So was it big? Well, it sounds big. It was the biggest amphitheatre ever built. 189 metres long, 156 metres wide, and 50 50 meters tall. Wow! All of those numbers are very, very impressive. Now, it says the biggest amphitheatre ever. 2,000 years ago, there were amphitheatres in almost all Roman cities. Don't forget, the Roman Empire was really big. It spread over many countries and many, many cities. And most places they went, the Romans built an amphitheatre. They thought it would keep their people happy, to see what they thought was entertainment. But the one in the middle of Rome is the biggest. So, in today's stadiums, the tickets are expensive. What about then, 2,000 years ago? Well, the first games lasted for 100 days. Wow, that's another big wow. I think I'm going to say wow quite a lot today. 100 days with different games every day. With these games, I don't think we would call them games, but the Romans thought that these were really entertaining. They were free to watch for the general population, and made the emperor very popular. Emperor is another word for king. He was the number one leader in the Roman Empire, and he made the games at the Colosseum free for everyone, because he wanted everyone to love him. So what were the games? I really don't think we would call them games, but let's have a look. Elephants, tigers, bears and bulls were fought with and killed. Now, when I say they were fought with, people would come into the arena and they would try and fight with these animals. They would try and kill these animals. The people did not always win. Sometimes the animals would kill the people. But the people of Rome thought this was really exciting and entertaining. The brutal displays show us how worthless life was in ancient times. Very often different people were not really considered to be lives worth saving. That's really sad. Thankfully, we think in a very different way now. Now, Romans really liked stories. They had many gods and many famous warriors. And criminals were used as disposable characters in stories. So, people they thought were bad, they were brought into the arena, and a story was told where maybe lots of people died in the story. Well, these criminals, they were the people in the stories. They would be killed by wild animals, and the cheering crowds loved it. Gladiators. The most famous attractions were the brutal gladiators. Wow! super strong men that have been really carefully trained. They were professional fighters who battled to the death. They didn't give up. They didn't stop. They just kept fighting and fighting. The strongest and finest became adored celebrities. Everyone loved the greatest gladiators. If they could live long enough, they could become very rich. But every time they went to work, they knew that they might die. It's not a job that I want, even if I was paid a lot of money. And the grandest shows, the most impressive shows, were the mock sea battles. Wow! How is that possible? The Colosseum could be flooded to allow ships to float in. It was so big. Now, that must have been a lot of water. So, it's like they turned it into a giant swimming pool, so that the boats could come right in to the centre of the arena. That must have been wow to see. Now, of course, changes were made. Sea battles did not happen for long because major changes were made to the floor. The underground section had many special additions put in. To be able to flood the arena, the floor needed to be very, very strong. It needed to be solid. But then, the Roman leaders thought that they could have more games if they had lots of rooms underground. Now, you could not flood the arena if there were lots of rooms just under your feet. It would not be strong enough. So what changes were made? A complex system of tunnels, cages, and elevators were added. These allowed gladiators and animals to make surprise entrances through hidden trapdoors. Well, I really don't like the sound of that. If I'm in the middle of an arena and I'm fighting another man, and then all of a sudden a tiger appears, that would not have made me happy. But again, the Roman people loved it. So how long did it last? Well, we know that we can still see the Colosseum today. But what about other things? The Colosseum was popular for over 500 years. That's pretty incredible. Today, if we're very, very lucky, a stadium might last for 100, not 500. However, devastating fire and shattering earthquakes damaged the structure too much. It became unsafe. We could not get lots of people into an arena that was unsafe. That sounds a bit strange if we're killing many people and killing many animals to say something's unsafe. By the 6th century, it became unusable. One epic earthquake in 1349 brought the crucial outer wall down. It collapsed. After that, there's no way that it could be used for anything. So what about now? It has always been loved by the Italian people. Restoration that began in the 19th century still continues. Every year, 7 million people visit the Colosseum. 7 million! That's got to be another wow. Despite Rome having so much history, the Colosseum remains the most popular place to see. Rome is a beautiful city. It has many amazing structures. Some of them are from the Roman times, 2,000 years ago. But some of them are more recent, maybe just a few hundred years ago. It's got an amazing history. It's a wonderful city. Amazing place and amazing words. 2 types of adjective this week. Just 2, but they weren't very common. The first type was type. So we had open air, underground. The next type of adjective was purpose, sporting, cheering. So when did we use those? We had open air arena, underground tunnels. Then what did we have? Sporting stadium, cheering people. Yay, there's a cheering person there. So, how many different types of adjective does that make? Well, first we had 3, then another 3, then 2, then 2. I think that's 10. So where next? Oh, what? It's a sad, crazy week next week. Oh dear, how does he feel? Does he look sad? Does he look crazy? Sad and crazy? Oh. So, come back quickly to see why. Why is it sad? Why is it crazy? We've had crazy weeks before, but why is it sad? I hope it's not too sad. Before we go, let's just see our final 2 friends. They're always smiling. They want to say, thank you. See you next time. Bye. Thank you for watching our video today. Please don't forget, subscribe, and that will help us to make lots more videos for you. Thank you. Bye.